Hi! It's been a very long time, so I really don't know what to say, other than I hope you're all doing well and that you are continuing to focus on Yah, on His kingdom, and on your relationship with Him, because in this day and age, it is extremely important. It's always been important, but it's even more so in this season of where we are at in history, but also this season of the year. And I also just wanted to quickly go back on my latest post to just cover a few things that were important to me. So first, you obviously guys noticed that I have been absent for many months now, which was not my intention, but I do want to say I'm still working on music. This very moment, I have more songs actually than on my first EP that I'm working on and that I feel are extremely huge. And it's actually very strange because this time around my method, if I can say that, of working on music is very different. With Heaven on Earth, my first EP, yeah, really just gave me the songs. It was very easy. It was not really hard. The hard part was to make it come to life. Just going through the process of how does that even work? Like releasing an album, finding someone for arrangements and recording myself, all of these things. This time around, it's extremely different. A few of the songs have been quote unquote received in a similar fashion where pretty much 90% at least of the idea is just downloaded from the spirit. No work on my part other than just being the receiver, really. But a lot of the other songs, I've been studying with just a very small idea, and I've been having to really develop the idea, develop the lyrics, because I want each of the songs to really be from the word, like really the word being the songs. The process is really different, but at the same time, I feel like it's on purpose again because it forces me to be in the word. Basically, I'm studying the word as I'm and to write my songs, which is amazing. It's great. I think it's a very good way to be as a believer when you have a craft, whether it's music or whatever it is you're doing, that it's being poured out of you from your studying of scriptures. It enriches you too in the process and gives you more revelation, more ideas of what could be part of your creations. So anyways, I don't know how long it's going to take me to release that next EP. I have no idea. I don't want to give a time frame because I disappoint myself and I don't want to disappoint you guys. But just be assured that I am working on tons of things. I also have a lot going on in my personal life, my ever-growing family. So I'm trying to balance all of that, keep the focus on the first ministry, which is family, but also knowing that I have this calling that's really dear to me, that's always been dear to me. But at the same time, seeing everything that's going on, I also feel the urgency. Because especially that song, the main song, Invisible War, that I've been talking about for years, this is like the theme song for the second EP, the same way Heaven on Earth was the theme song for the first one. It's just insane how this song is extremely relevant for everything we're going through, but as time keeps like ramping up and as things keep happening in the world, it just becomes more and more and more layers of how important that song is and what it's actually talking about. And so it gives me kind of like an urge and an impatience to bring it out. But anyways, it's not my timing, it's in Yah's timing, and I'm trusting him for when it's gonna all happen. That being said, that's just for the quick update, so you know that I'm not forever gone. It's not my intention to stop making music or to just disappear out of the picture. But at the same time, I just wanted to come back as well and still talk about Heaven on Earth because it is the only EP I released so far. And because we're in the season of year right now with the fall feasts, I at least wanted to refresh everyone's memories of the album and that the songs, well, they do point us to our Father. They do point us to heaven coming on earth, and we are getting very close. Getting very close. Yeah, I'm still calling people out of the world. As mass deception is happening and as tragedies and conspiracies are happening. There's what the enemy intends to do through that, but there's also Yah always using every single thing to bring people to himself. As the word says, all things work together for good for them that love him. And I'm seeing so many people going back to God, going back to Christ, going back to scriptures, and that's amazing. It's a start, but it's not the end. We need to grow. The word says study to show yourself approved. It doesn't say read this to show yourself approved. Yes, it's grace. We receive grace from Yah, but faith requires endurance, and it requires an active labor on our part to keep pursuing him the same way he pursues us. And so all of that to say that for the fall feast coming up, I'm gonna do another buy one get one for my CD. If ever you guys want some music for your feasts, your feasting season, and have music that really focuses on these themes, and you also want to bless others, and maybe there's more ears being open right now with everything going on to hear about God and to hear about the truth. Well, it's your occasion right now. It's your opportunity. You don't have to do anything. If you want to get my CD, you go on GabyGraceMusic.com and simply buy a CD. I'll just throw 2 in there. There's no code required and nothing on your part. Just order the CD, you get 2. And so why is it important right now in this fall feast season? The fall feasts, well, all of the biblical feasts are just extremely important because they're not just things that the Jews did. They are eternal feasts. Yah gave his people forever, that we're going to keep forever in the kingdom as well. If you read about prophecies in the Old Testament, it says tabernacles will be kept by all nations. But they also point to our Messiah. They also point to what he did and what he will do again. So the Feast of Trumpets, which is the first one of the fall feasts, it sounds obvious, but at the sound of the shofar, the sound of the trumpet, basically when the second coming happens, that's what it points us to. Then we have the Day of Atonement, which represents obviously the atonement we receive for our sins through Messiah, but also the final atonement we will receive when we finally get to be part of his kingdom and decay is behind us and we're atoned for forever. And then the Feast of Tabernacles, which is my favorite feast, is about the fact that, well, in the past, Yahusha, Jesus, came to tabernacle among us. When he came to this earth, the word was made flesh, but also once we entered that kingdom, we will tabernacle with him. We will dwell with our King and God forever. Let us just think upon these things and really take this time of year to refocus on him and just be careful not to get distracted, which I get distracted very easily as well, and just put our eyes back on him. Realize that there is so much good things in store as things get crazier in this world. Let us not forget the glorious days that are ahead of us once all of this craziness is over, once we are done enduring until the very end. So, saints, keep pressing in, keep enduring. Do not be deceived.